Well, that was a treat to see that trailer for Beijing Taxi, and now it is a treat to introduce the filmmaker herself. Please welcome from New York, Miao. Wang is here.
Thank you.
Welcome to Martha's Vineyard. And your journey began as a young girl in Beijing. You were brought up there and ultimately came to the Parsons School to study film in New York. Tell us about that return to make Beijing Taxi.
Yeah, that was my kind of the personal motivation for making the film, and it was very special for me because it was the first time I went back and spent a month and a half, and before that I would go back just for a couple of weeks to visit relatives. And I wanted this project to bring me back to Beijing and to have myself be refamiliarized and reconnect myself to the city.
Was there a moment in this development process where the taxi point of view came into your mind, and why particularly the taxi driver?
Actually, I decided on the taxi before I left. I went to Beijing with this in mind, that I was going to make a film about 3 taxi drivers, and it was going to take place in the 2.5 years before the Olympics, because I went back in 2006. And the taxi driver, I wanted to choose them because I feel like in some ways it's a really great entryway into looking at a city that's changing, because they are on the ground, they're always moving. You see the city outside and the world inside. And I wanted that contradiction and that contrast between the inside and outside and what goes on in the city.
And it must have been interesting also because you really had an end point that before the story could be told.
Yeah.
You couldn't go back and shoot a year later.
Right.
Were there difficulties shooting in China? Were there restrictions or any kind of problems that administratively or officially you had to face?
Well, before I went to China, I talked to a bunch of documentary filmmakers who's worked there and who work in China, and the general advice I got from everybody is just don't really go to the officials to get trouble. So
They said just shoot.
Yeah, just shoot, basically. Guerrilla style. Just go there, and that's what I did. So I just went, and with very small crew, just me and the cinematographer, and we shot a lot of it, of course, inside a taxi, and that's also very easy for moving around and not being noticed.
Yeah. And how did you choose your subjects, your taxi drivers?
In November 2006, when I went for the first trip, I wrote a lot of taxis.
It was interesting auditions.
Yes,
Very
exactly.
Too,
Wow.
Well, luckily in Beijing, it's a lot cheaper to write taxis than it is in New York.
Or Martha's Vineyard, we hate to say.
Right. Then Martha's.
Well, this is really exciting to have you here, and I know that everybody who's here this weekend wants to. This really is the celebrated film of the weekend,
Yeah.
because it's opening our festival. Opened the festival last night, and it'll be again on Sunday, correct?
Yep.
In the afternoon. And you'll be introducing that?
I will be at both screenings, and there will be Q&A afterwards.
Fantastic.
Excellent.
So we'll see you Sunday for sure. And thank you so much for joining us, Miao. And have fun with the festival and try and enjoy the vineyard too.
Well, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
We've also
Hope so.
got more footage of Sissy, all sparkly, enjoying the opening night party here from the roof of the Mansion House in Vineyard Haven for the Martha's Vineyard International Film Festival.
I had to do it for the hair.
Oh, yes.